Watch out for some heavy rain that's heading our way, particularly as we go through Tuesday afternoon and overnight into Wednesday. But even before that, we have some fairly wet weather across us. Currently, there is a front lingering, and that is bringing some fairly persistent rain across the eastern parts of Scotland, through northern England, down through western Wales towards the southwest of England. This front's not really going anywhere as we go overnight, so some further rain here. Meanwhile, in the southeast, some fairly hefty showers piling their way in from the south, particularly affecting parts of East Anglia, perhaps London and Kent as well. The risk that some of these could turn thundery as we go through the early hours of Tuesday morning. And then elsewhere, it's a drier story, not totally dry. Across much of England, really, it's going to stay pretty cloudy, but some clear skies for western Scotland and much of Northern Ireland. As a result, touch of frost is possible away from the towns and cities. Rural spots just about dipping below freezing perhaps, but elsewhere, with the cloud, the rain, the relatively blustery winds, it's not going to turn especially chilly. So most places getting off to a bit of a cloudy and rather wet start. Some further heavy at times showers across parts of the east of England for a time. Most of that clears its way northwards, but through tomorrow that front still lingering similar places. So eastern Scotland seeing a bit more rain for a time, and then particularly down through western parts of Wales and the southwest of England, it is going to stay pretty wet through much of the day. And actually, as we go through the afternoon, because of a bit of forcing coming up from the south, I'm expecting this rain to turn even heavier, and we are likely to see our rainfall totals building up. We have issued a warning across much of Wales and the southwest of England because we could see totals of around 50 to 75 millimetres in some places, and that's more rain than we've seen so far this month, so far this spring really, for many places. And whilst they're the highest totals we're expecting quite widely within this warning area, I'm expecting around 20 to 40 millimetres to fall in just 24 hours. So as a result, there's the potential for a bit of flooding and travel disruption, so do take care. Otherwise, there will be some drier weather, just a scattering of showers here and there. Some bright or sunny spells in the sunshine, not feeling too bad, particularly towards the south-southeast, still clinging on to some warmth here, so mid to high teens Celsius. Elsewhere, especially where you're stuck under the cloud, you have those winds to watch out for, and also the rain. It's going to feel a little bit cool for some of us. Then as we go through the evening and overnight, like I said, that warning's valid for 24 hours, so still some further heavy rain affecting parts of Wales, southwest England in particular, but the pulses of rain push their way northwards into northern England, into the borders areas of Scotland, so could see some impacts there, even though currently we don't have a warning out. Elsewhere, a drier story here and there, but some rain pushing into Northern Ireland, some rain for eastern Scotland. Really, it's a bit of a messy picture at the moment as we go through into Wednesday. But with the relatively changeable, unsettled weather, again, temperatures not dropping that low. I'm not really expecting much clear skies around, and so really it should stay frost-free. So perhaps a milder start for some of us on Wednesday morning, not for all. Temperatures similar really in many places, but also quite a wet one in many areas. A lot of that rain though continues its way northwards. So as we go towards the afternoon, still some rain affecting particularly eastern parts of Northern Ireland, but also across much of Scotland and into northern England, perhaps the north of Wales as well, clinging on to some showery bursts. Further south though, an improving picture. We're going to turn increasingly dry, bright and sunny, albeit a few showers still coming in across parts of Devon and Cornwall, but by no means as wet a day as we're expecting on Tuesday. With that then, we're kind of saying goodbye to the warmest air, so although there will be a decent amount of sunshine developing in the south, temperatures, if anything, are likely to be a little bit lower than the start of the week, and further north, with all the unsettled weather around, temperatures are going to, well, it's going to feel a little bit on the low side, and actually worth bearing in mind, there's the potential for some sleet and snow to develop over the higher ground of Scotland. Then as we go later on through this week, well, that rain continues to push its way northwards as we go into Thursday, so that clears away. We do have a lull for a time being, but then we are going to see more wet weather coming up from the west-southwest, and that's mainly going to affect western parts as we go through Friday. A greater chance of staying dry, but I am expecting that unsettled weather to push through as we go through the long Easter weekend. So a pretty unsettled picture if you're hoping to go Easter egg hunting. Otherwise, I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.